Good morning students of class 10. Again we are going to discuss the same topic, that is the first war of independence. In previous video we have discussed about the political causes which led to the first war of independence. Today we are going to discuss about what were the economic causes which ultimately led to this revolt. So from today's discussion, it will be clear that when people suffer economically, when economic hardships come in our lives, we ultimately forced to start a revolt against the ruler. Okay, so the first economic cause was ruin of trade and handicrafts. It means the Indian trade and handicrafts declined. As we know that British rule in India marked by economic exploitation of the Indians, yes, and its economy. So what happened in this point, we are going to discuss that earlier the East India Company used to do trade with India, and company used to buy the Indian textiles, spices and other food grains from India, and in return they used to give us gold and other precious metals. So this worried the British government, and thus it made a law in 1720 which give the right to the Britishers to collect taxes on Indian goods. Okay, because in mid 18th century industrialization has been taken place in England. Many factories were set up in England, especially Liverpool and Manchester. These were the two important cities where factories came up in England. So they started making textiles of their own. Okay, and thus they exported the machine made goods to into India. Yes, and we all know that machine made goods are cheaper than handmade goods, and at that time industrialization has not taken place in India. People, the workers, artisans, weavers used to make clothes by hand. So the finishing of our textile was superb. Okay, and thus there was great demand of Indian textiles all over the world. And earlier they were imported our textiles, but when industrialization took place and when this law was implemented in 1720, now it became difficult for Indian textiles to be exported, because the taxes that they put on our textiles, the prices of our textiles became more, and thus we lost buyers in England and in other parts of world, we can say. So due to these reasons, the trade and handicrafts of India ruined, declined. Now our people who were involved in this business, their economic declined. Okay, not only within the boundary of India but overseas also, how we have just discussed. Okay, so in this way they also lost their livelihoods, those who were involved in making textiles. Yes, so thus we can say that British rule in India declined the trade and handicrafts, and in this course the important manufacturing cities of India like Surat, Murshidabad and Dhaka, their importance declined. Yes, so we have completed this economic cause, and thus anger spread in traders, in merchants, in the workers against the Britishers, which ultimately led to the revolt. The second point we are going to discuss, that impoverishment of cultivators. How cultivators suffered under the rule of British, we are going to discuss. Many revenue settlements have been introduced by the Britishers, and one of these was the permanent settlement, which was introduced in 1793. According to this, the landlords, the jamindars, got the enormous power. Yes, they were now in the position to evict, to remove the cultivators from their lands if the cultivators were not giving revenue to them. And also, according to this settlement, the revenue of peasants was very high. Almost half of the produce had to be given to the landlords. Okay, so in this way, by this British rule, the conditions of farmers, cultivators became very worst. Okay, and there was no certainty of tenure, that how long they could cultivate their lands. And suppose if they are not paying the money, the revenue, they will be just removed, and the landlords could take their land. So in this way, they were forced to borrow from money lenders. Yes, and again they had to pay the money to the money lenders with high interests. So all these things made the cultivators put the cultivators in very worse conditions. Okay, the next thing is that India reduced to a British agricultural colony. Earlier, we know that East India Company came here with for trade, but over time they established political control over us, and now they are just exploiting the country, our country, India. Okay, and we have just discussed that industrialization has already taken place in England, and they needed now the raw materials. Earlier they used to take the finished goods from India, and India was at that time benefited from this trade. But now when they occupied India and established their political power over us, they just made us a colony. They started exploiting us, and they needed, we discussed the raw materials like indigo, jute and opium, and from these raw materials they used to make finished goods in their own country. Okay, and especially in Awadh, Bengal and Bihar, the peasants were forced there to produce cash crops, these cash crops, which ultimately took away the fertility of lands, of soil. Yes, and thus the peasants could not grow their crops that they could eat, like rice and wheat, and they were just forced to grow these cash crops, and in return Britishers also used to give a less amount of money to the cultivators. Okay, so in this way we have discussed that how British reduced India to mere agricultural colony. Okay, so we have discussed this point. Next point is loss of livelihood. Many people lost their livelihood. We have discussed in the first point that due to the decline of trade and handicrafts, the people who were involved in making those kind of goods, okay, due to competition from the Britishers, our textiles was, their demands gone away. Okay, because machine made goods were cheaper and our goods were expensive. So our traders did not get buyers in our country also and overseas also. That part we have already discussed. So in this way, those people who were involved in such kind of activities, business, workers, weavers, artisans, they lost their jobs. Okay. Not only this, due to the introduction of Western education, which included science, it also took away the jobs of Pandits and Maulvis. Okay, because earlier the Pandits and Maulvis, whatever they said, people used to follow that. Suppose earlier it was said that sun revolves around the earth, but when Copernicus came and suggested the theory that no, its earth revolves around the sun. So now there is question over their supremacy, and now they thought that the Sanskrit and Urdu will not be taught, because in Western education there was compulsion on English. So in this way there was threat, there was fear of losing livelihoods for Pandits and Maulvis also. And in this way we have discussed that how people lost their livelihood, and this spreaded anger among the different sections of society, which ultimately forced to declare revolt against the Britishers. Okay. Next thing is that famines. Famines in 1837 to 38, many famines occurred in India. We can say famines were coming into India frequently. Why? Because Britishers did nothing for the improvement of the agriculture. They did not provide any irrigation system. Okay. Other things we can say they did not implement to improve the grow the produce. Okay. And we all know that when we cultivate only cash crops, it takes away the fertility of soil. So they were not in the position to grow the cereals crops like rice and wheat, and they were forced to just grow the cash crops. So due to this, the shortage of food at that time occurred in India, and due to that famines were coming in India, and many people died of this because of starvation, we can say. So these were the economic causes: rule of trade and handicrafts, impoverishment of cultivators. We have discussed permanent settlement at 1793. What it did to the peasants. India just became mere of agricultural colony for them. They were just exploiting our wealth and resources for their own benefits. And we have discussed the loss of livelihoods and famines we have discussed. Okay. One point is left in this topic, that they also annexed the rent-free lands and estates of landlords. So landlords were also they also faced problem when Britishers used to take away lands from them, and this way the nobles, the landlords also became involved against the Britishers. So from common man to landlords, from businessmen to peasants, workers, every section of the society, they suffered a lot economically. And when we when we face crisis economically, when we are not in the position to fulfill our basic needs, okay, so this situation ultimately angers the people, and this happened at that time. People became angered and they just lost their peasants and started a revolt against the Britishers in 1857. So this was the economic cause. In the next class we will discuss about the religious and social causes. Okay, so chapter is large, there are many topics, so just like this we will finish one by one so that you will understand in better way. Thank you.